2nd, November 13, 2022.
911 location of your emergency.
Hi, something is happening. Something happened in our house. We don't know what.
What is the address of the emergency?
1122.
What is the rest of the address?
Oh, Kings Road.
Okay. And is that a house or an apartment?
It's a house.
Can you repeat the address to make sure that I have it right?
I'll talk to you guys. We live at the White, so we're next to them.
I need someone to repeat the address for verification.
The address, 1122 King Road.
And what's the phone number that you're calling from?
What's your phone number?
And tell me exactly what's going on.
One of the roommates has passed out, and she was drunk last night, and she's not waking up.
Okay.
Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night. Yeah.
And are you with the patient? Okay, I need someone to keep the phone, stop passing it around.
Can I just tell you what happened very much?
What is going on currently? Is someone passed out right now?
I don't really know, but pretty much at 4 a.m.
Okay, I need to know what's going on right now if someone is passed out. Can you find that out?
Yeah, I'll come. Come on, up and we gotta go check. But we have to. She's not waking up.
Okay, one moment. I'm getting help started that way.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and how old is she?
She's 20.
20, you said?
Yeah, 20 years old.
Okay.
Hello? Hello?
Okay, I need someone to stop passing the phone around because I've talked to 4 different people.
Hey, sorry, they just gave me the phone.
Is she breathing?
Hello?
Is she breathing?
No.
Okay.
You talk to them, okay? I can't talk to them. They need you to talk to them.
Hello.
Okay. I've already sent the ambulance and law enforcement. Stay on the line. If there is a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it.
Say that again. There's a police here right now.
Okay. If there's a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it.
We don't have I think yes. Do you have a defibrillator? Yes, we have one.
Are you talking to the officer?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to let you go since he's there with you and can help you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay.
11:59 a.m. 49, 2nd, November 13, 2022.
On 11/13/2022, at approximately 11:56 hours, MPD officers responded to an unconscious call. The RP, later identified as BF, Bethany Funk, I guess, reported her roommate was passed out, not conscious and not breathing. As I was preparing to leave the situation, Officer Nunes, who was already on scene, was already on scene, advised of a likely homicide and asked for additional units. While I was en route, Officer Nunes advised he had located 2 additional victims. The victims were later identified as Kaylee J. Gongalves, Eaton J. Chapin, Xana A. Canodal, and Madison M. Morgan. Moscow EMS were asked to stage and not respond to the scene unless requested. So this was on that tragic day. Upon arrival, I saw crouching near the entrance to 1122 King Road. Jay was in obvious emotional distress. I entered through the first floor door, which faces north towards the parking lot. I announced myself as a Moscow police officer and heard Officer Nunes and Warner respond from upstairs. When I got to the second floor, I saw a female covered in blood in the bedroom on the NW side of the second floor. That is Xana. And remember, Hunter never mentioned anything of Xana being covered with red liquid. When I got to the side of the second floor, I believed this female to be Xana. I looked inside the bedroom. Xana was laying, and it was obvious an intense struggle had occurred. Xana was obviously deceased. There was blood smeared on various items in the room and all over the floor. So there was no cleanup. There was blood cast off on the walls in various places, including above Xana's body. Xana was on her back on the floor in the center of the room with the head towards the west. Xana was on her back on the floor in the center of the room with the head towards the west. Xana was in underwear and a long sleeve grey shirt. Both her shirt and underwear were covered in blood. Poor girl. Xana's face and body was covered in dried blood. I could see what appeared to be defensive knife wounds on Xana's hands. There were deep gashes on Xana's left. Oh my God. I should have said trigger warning, guys. This is a terrible scene. Poor girl. I proceeded upstairs to the third floor where I met Officer Nunes and Warner. Nunes and Warner advised the residence was clear for an additional people. Can't see above there. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on, guys. There was a dog belonging to Kaylee in the third floor. West bedroom, which has access to a third floor deck. The deck has no exterior access to the ground level. I asked CPL Snyder to cordon off the area and Officer Nunes to start identifying the subjects that were on the scene when he arrived. I wonder how many subjects were on the scene when they arrived, if any of them got away. Snyder to cordon off the area and Officer Nunes to start identifying the subjects that were on the scene when he arrived. I asked Officer Warner to start a crime scene log at the front entrance. Those are the things actually Koberger was good in his forensic homework. Taking care of a crime scene. I asked Nunes to start identifying the subjects that were on the scene when he arrived. I asked Officer Warner to start a crime scene log at the front entrance. Once Officer Smith arrived on the scene, I asked him to stand guard at the kitchen sliding door, which I later learned was ajar upon arrival. Okay, there was that young 26-year-old officer. On the third floor, I went to the SC bedroom where Officer Nunes and Warner advised they found 2 females, whom I believe to be Kaylee and Madison. Both females were obviously deceased. I observed Kaylee lying on the north side of the bed and Madison lying on the south side of the bed with their heads towards the east. Kaylee and Madison were covered by a pink blanket which was covered in blood. There was a large pool of blood near Kaylee's midsection. Poor girl. There's blood cast off on the east and north walls above Kaylee and Madison. So there was blood on all the walls. So I think their heads were facing the same direction. There's a large pool of blood near Kaylee's midsection. There was blood cast off on the east and north walls above Kaylee and Madison. Madison appeared to be laying up against Kaylee. Madison had what appeared to be wounds to her forearm and hands. Madison had a gash under her right eye, which appeared to be from the corner of her eye to her nose. Kaylee was unrecognizable, as her facial structure is extremely damaged. I asked Officer Nunes to close the door to the bedroom so the dog did not try to disturb the scene. Other than the action, MPD patrol officers left the scene as it was found. It was later confirmed with Officer Nunes that no EMS personnel entered the prior to my arrival. Yeah, because we heard Emily saying that the ambulances came and they left immediately, so they did not enter the scene. I contacted Captain Barrett and advised him of the situation. Captain Barrett said, so Kaylee and Maddie were laying almost on top of, Maddie was laying on top of Kaylee, kind of. I contacted Captain Barrett and advised him of the situation. Captain Barrett said he would activate detectives and get more resources en route. Once Detective Sergeant Lawrence arrived on scene, he requested one of the responding patrol officers begin writing a search warrant, which was assigned to officers Nunes. CPL Snyder was assigned to take initial photos of the scene, while Officer Smith and Warren remained as security at both entrances. I collected the dog from the third floor and took it outside. LCSO Dep Olson transported the dog to the Humane Society on my behalf, so they took Murphy out of the scene. Officer Nunes was interviewing a large group of individuals which was associated with the residents. Officer Nunes asked that I finish getting contact information for the individuals. I contacted and later added the following names to the calls. 1122 King Road. So these are names that are redacted. DM. Lives in the resident. Hunter Johnson, HJ. Then you have CM. Then you have JD. I think, is that Jactica? And JM. So they're all Jody, a boyfriend, Hunter, I think Emily. I don't know who's JD. Were all at the residence. I don't think it was Jack DeCure because they would have given him the dog. Or they may have to take the dog for some tests first. So this is really heartbreaking. So let's go back and summarize. It's almost the same that we knew, but what is different is that if Xana was covered of blood and there's blood on the walls and everywhere, why are they addressing it as an unconscious person, all of them? And they must have smelt everything. Xana was stabbed 52 times and Kaylee over 30 times. They even said themselves, Jody said, Xana's friend and DM's friend, and Emily said that when they entered the house, they knew something was wrong. They knew Xana was unconscious. And this had to be more than one person who did it. I refuse to believe that it was only Koberger. Somebody used a knuckle dust, I believe, a brass knuckle on Kaylee. I wonder if Showalter could have used whatever he had inside his jacket. Could that be a GUN? Could he have... Was that the firework BF in the neighborhood? Or was that what he used on Kaylee's face? There's a bean gone. I wonder what could have been used on Kaylee. I wonder if a brass knuckle was used on Kaylee. These youngins here in the UK use it a lot. that could have damaged her face and disfigured her face. I'm really sorry to say that. Trigger warning. Let me know what you think. But Hunter said that Xana was unconscious. They kept on addressing Xana as unconscious when they knew that there was blood on the walls, a lot of blood on the floor. This is more than one person who did these crimes. And I really believe Xana, Kaylee, and Ethan could have been the main three targets. I used to always think Maddie was the number one target, but in fact, I always knew Ethan and Kaylee would have been Showalter's target for getting him kicked out of his fraternity. Maybe that's why he carved Ethan's legs, allegedly. These are all my thoughts and speculations. And he could have really taken out, he suffers of anger management. He could have taken out his anger on Kaylee and broken her face. Let me know what y'all think. He had motives on Kaylee and Ethan for getting kicked out of his fraternity, for harassing females. That was Ethan. And Kaylee for getting kicked out of the frat. But now that we know with the new reports that there were two other guys who were bothering the girls at the corner club. So there's a lot going on at the corner club that night. Please let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think it was a knuckle duster? Or brace knuckles, they call it. Please like, share, and subscribe.